What up, YouTube? So, if you have aches and pains or you've had past injuries and you don't want to get injured anymore, watch this video because I'm going to explain why people get injured. And yes, every individual is going to be different and injuries can be complex and complicated, but generally speaking, most of the time, the root cause of an injury is a muscle imbalance. And so what a muscle imbalance is when a muscle is underdeveloped compared to its counterpart. And so some muscles in our bodies have counterparts, same thing with movements like pushing and pulling. If you do a lot more of a certain one, you will get a muscle imbalance. Let's say you train your bis more than your tris, you can get a muscle imbalance. If you train your chest more than your back, and there are different ratios you're supposed to do them on, and it depends on the person and the goals. But for athletes, lifters, and average people, they get muscle imbalances in different ways. For example, an athlete, they're doing the same pattern, the same movement for their sport. And so if they're not training the counterpart movements, then they're gonna get injured more likely. That's how a lot of athletes get injured. They overdevelop a certain movement, and then when they get on the field, when fatigue and pressure and competition kicks in, the other counterpart isn't there to stabilize, isn't there to do its job because it's underdeveloped, therefore resulting in injury. As for the lifter, if you're doing a powerlifting competition, most lifters do not focus on their back, and so they'll do a lot of benching, a lot of deadlifting, and a lot of squatting, and those are very comprehensive movements, but you're also leaving out some other important muscle groups that could be worked more often, like the back, and so you need to incorporate a lot of rows if you're a lifter, and that's why a lot of powerlifters get injured, is because they're overdeveloped, over tight, and the counterpart isn't there to balance it out. Same thing with the average person. Even if the average person doesn't lift any weights, doesn't move at all, the average person is sitting, and so their hip flexors are gonna be shortened, their hamstrings are gonna be shortened, and their posture is naturally gonna roll forward, their head's gonna roll forward because they're staring at a computer. And so just everyday life will mold you into a certain movement, will mold you into a certain shape, and if you don't work the opposite movements to mold you back and keep you balanced, you're gonna get injured. And so you might be thinking, well, I don't want to get injured. What should I do, Calvin? Well, this is what you can do. I made a video on common muscle imbalances and how to fix it. And if you're still worried that one of your imbalances aren't covered in that video, just shoot me an email, shoot me a message, and I'll be happy to answer you. But until next time, I hope you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you later. Peace.